Hello, hello. This is going to be a reading for the full moon in Capricorn for July 2024. Most of my readings, or rather all of my readings, are timeless. So if you're watching this outside of that time frame, just take it how it applies and take what resonates and leave the rest. Now, with the full moon in Capricorn, this is suggesting that we take a step back and refocusing on connection and the things that light us up inside. And while I was meditating on the cards before I started recording, I was seeing abundance. So this is a refocusing of connection, abundance, and the things that light us up in the world. Um, I was actually getting the picture of um, expansion, like a small ball, and then it was growing and growing and growing and growing. And so, what I was called to within this ball is looking at it, um, thinking about it, assessing it, um, seeing all the little nooks and crannies and color changes. And so, as it was growing, it was like, think bigger, look at, that kind of thing. So there is this kind of energy of thinking bigger, thinking about what is going to bring your abundance, the next thing that will take you further. It's not feeling like a time to make those changes. It's a time of introspection, thinking, refocusing, and getting down what you're truly desiring. There's this energy of expansiveness, spaciousness, curiosity. I'm also hearing I'm seeing books, but then the word philosophical or philosophy came in. So perhaps that is of interest of yours, and you're looking towards that. Um, or you have people around you that you like to discuss that with, because that is coming up, and it's like it kind of goes with think bigger. And I'm seeing like grapes, like purple grapes, like scholarly. Yeah, this is definitely like a processing time, processing how to come into abundance, luck, um, and not even luck. It's that manifestation of exactly what you're wanting, because we are our manifestors. We create the life we want depending on how we think. Oh, see, okay, the grapes. I was just seeing the grapes and like a feast, a table, and a bunch of people surrounding. And then this is talking to people. This is that connection aspect of the full moon, talking to people who grew up in a circumstance maybe that is different from yours, a different viewpoint, maybe a different. They grew up in a different country, or they grew up in the city, you grew up in the country. There's this difference, this unfamiliar, foreign type energy as you talk and get to know someone and get their viewpoint. It's expanding your thinking. It's making it bigger. Yeah, okay. Missing pieces. There's missing pieces that you need to make up. So this is that connection and in talking, and um maybe sitting in on a lecture or a talk that's in your town or city, an educational piece, something to expand, something to add those missing pieces into that, to make up that whole, that ball, right? To make up the whole of the ball and make it expand. And this is something that you're wanting to do because I'm feeling this like excitement, this optimism, this um yeah, excitement. It's almost like you're going so that you have more knowledge and you can expand your mind so that you can yourself get the word out, giving something, giving goodwill. Yeah, right now is a great time to be investing in education, broadening your mindset. Mm. Asking questions. Right now is a really great time to be asking questions. I just saw 234. Yeah, right now is a great time to be asking questions. And I'm hearing the saying of like, no question is stupid. So ask all the questions. Even if you know the answer, it's almost like I'm seeing this person asking a question for another person. So, um, this one, like I'm being kind of thrown into this like classrooms, lecture setting where, this person doesn't want to ask the question, but they're confused and they don't know, and so their friend asks it for them. And it's not a silly question or a dumb question. It's a great question, which the entire room was actually curious about. But it was this feeling of, if I say anything, if I speak up, if I ask questions, then I get in trouble or I don't, or I'm made to feel silly. And that's not the case. And so, if that's the energy that has been your constant for a long time, this is the time to change it. This is the time to really acknowledge that aspect of yourself and the hurt that came from that, and then say, okay, I see you, I understand that, and I'm sorry that that happened. But in order for us to expand, we need to ask these questions. And what's interesting is that when the question is asked, everyone around is like, yes, I was just thinking the same thing. Yeah, what does that mean? Like it's this whole connection, and it actually brings you closer and connects you better with the people surrounding you. Very interesting. It's like you're gonna be in this big room and you're gonna have a big audience, like the connection to people. But just be really aware, with that kind of camaraderie and connection, who is the most important people or intimate to you, that are most connected to you in those circumstances. Because I do feel that there is going to be this expansiveness of connections. And like the image was showing me, this person that couldn't felt that like they couldn't ask the question, so their friend did it for them to help them get the answer that they needed, but also to help them not feel silly asking the question. Those are the types of people that you want to have in your life and surrounded you. Those are the ones you don't want to um, forget. I don't know why that was very important, but it was. Oh, okay. Okay. Um, so the reason why that was really important is there is this energy of your ability, your capacity to grow and expand is very, very big, very potent. And sometimes that can overshadow or maybe kind of, yeah, yeah, overshadow. I was going to say another, but, oh, they said no, overshadow. Okay. It can overshadow maybe, um, like I'm hearing first years or like beginners, right? It can shadow or overwhelm new people that are learning that expansiveness and learning how to build that capacity for growth. So it's just a caution to like just notice where you might potentially overwhelm people, especially the people in your life that you love and care about deeply. Give them room for their more subtle style. So again, back to that like image of the friend asking for their friend. To me, that's a friend recognizing another friend who wants to learn and wants to expand, but it has a challenge being out there or speaking up. And so this friend helps them by stating it himself. And this friend is very grateful because now the friend knows the question that he or she wanted to ask. Very interesting. This is a call to be very loving to yourself as well. Don't overwhelm yourself. Don't force yourself to speak out or speak up unless you're feeling called to do it. Okay? So, yes, this is a time to speak up and speak out to expand and grow and learn. But if it doesn't feel right and it's giving you too much, like it's too overwhelming, it's okay to take on a more subtle style. For example, holding your question to the end of the class and asking if you can speak with the teacher type of energy. Appreciate your own value and grow and learn and expand only in the ways that work for you. It's okay to have people around you that are a bit more outgoing or bigger than life, and you to sit in your own value and your own expansive way as well. It's like this fine balance between too much of a good thing. You know what I mean? Like it's a fine balance between too much extroverting and too much introverting is what I heard. So yeah, too much of a good thing or, too much of a bad thing. Well, not too much of a bad thing. It's mainly just too much of a good thing. Or too much of, yeah, extroversion or introversion. Okay, I see why they said that. Okay, so too much of a good thing can leave people feeling overwhelmed. Almost like a when's the shoe gonna drop type of energy. Mm. Yes. All right, let's get into the cards. I'm hearing as well, it's time. You're being called to expand your worldview. It's time to reach out. Reach out to what? Just reach out in the world. Connect with the world, Earth, the universe, in a very holistic way. Okay, let's get into the cards. Full moon in Capricorn for July 2024. What do we have? elaborate more on this thinking bigger, this expansion, this growth that the collective is going through. The Hierophant. Spiritual evolution. This Hierophant, he doesn't have people in front of him. He's not being worshipped in a way. This is him going in and getting downloads. He is being surrounded by white light. This is coming into his body, not just his mind, his body. This is Creator, the universe, coming in and expanding his entire being. This is happening for you. This is an expansion of your entire being. Yes. Fool. New beginning. Fool card has a full moon on it in this deck. It's interesting, is like he's flying here. He's not even on a cliff or anything, but he's flying because he's had the faith and he's done the work and he's ready to step into this new. He's had the downloads, he's had the enlightenment aspects, and I don't mean enlightenment like I'm an enlightened person and like the generic social term of enlightenment. What I mean is that this person, you are getting these growth downloads, these growth aha moments in your entire being. And now you're acting on them. You're moving forward and having faith in them. You have 2 cards of faith. You have 2 cards of the spirit. This is a spirit, a soul leveling up, getting bigger, expanding. Again, that ball, getting bigger, getting bigger. And then the image of seeing all the details within the ball, all the nooks and crannies and all the different colors. This is your soul that is expanding. This is your soul with all its bumps and bruises, happiness and sadness and anger and all of the things that have happened to you through your soul's life. All of the colors, the good, the bad, the in-between. This is all your expansion. Yeah. And you're defending your upgrade. Okay. He's sitting here. He knows that he is divinely protected and he's standing up for himself and what he believes in. This is you. This is also potentially speaking. Okay. This is also potentially speaking up, saying your piece in the way that best suits you. Yes. Being unapologetically who you are and who you were meant to be. This is like, I wouldn't be surprised if like the Emperor showed up or like the Sun, because I'm really getting this like Leo energy vibe of this is me, the world, expansion, globe, world, expansion, right? Expanding your worldview. Getting these leveling up your soul and really trusting the knowledge that you have and trusting your capabilities and moving forward with that in a new beginning and defending and speaking up about what you believe in and speaking to others about what they believe in. This is expanding your worldview. This is expanding this is literally creating for you a kind of a loop effect where it's like upgrade, believe in what you have, having faith, going forward towards it, speaking about it, speaking to others, getting their point of view, the world, you're reassessing everything, and you're taking what you believe in and what is true for you. You're changing your worldview, and it's basically bringing you back into another like level up upgrade, right? Like it's just this kind of, you're just expanding, and that's where it is. Like the ball just kept growing and growing, and it was almost like a pass, and then it would grow, and then a pass, and then it would grow. It's like, okay, now I'm being shown like a clock where the hands are turning, and every time they get to 12, the clock gets bigger. Like that's your knowledge base. It's like you learn, you get bigger. You learn, you get bigger. Interesting. Okay. 3 of Pentacles. Sorry about that. Okay. 3 of Pentacles. Interesting. Okay, so I try to have my videos not have very many interruptions. Unfortunately, sometimes with kids and animals, that tends to happen. And what I'm picking up with the 3 of Pentacles coming out right when I had to pause is this like this connection piece that we've been talking about in the meditation and with the 7 of Wands, of connecting with people, and talking and getting different viewpoints and perspectives. This is what this 3 of Pentacles over the Hierophant, the Fool, just like as I was saying, you're getting this loop. You're speaking on your beliefs, your faiths, your what you're going after, and because you're speaking with others as well at the same time, they're speaking as well. And so then it's like this pause moment. Okay. In my personal experience, I have met and seen that our society really rewards instant speaking, with soon as somebody says something, you have to say something right away. So you say the first thing in your mind, or you don't even have time to listen to what they're saying because you're so focused on what you're going to say next. And there is this with the pause in the video and then the 3 of Pentacles. In order to really come together and work together in a good, cohesive manner and get all of the information and learn as much as you possibly can from one another, it would be prudent and it would be wise to pause, reflect, and then respond over trying to do it right away. And even if you have to say to the person, like, hey, you know what? That was a really great point. I need to take a moment to just mull it over before I answer you. And by doing that, it primes the other person to be like, hey, guess what? They were listening to me. They were listening to me and what I had to say. And because it is important to them and what I had to say, they think it's important, and they want to really dissect it before answering me. People are going to appreciate that more than just you spouting off something and completely negating what they've said, right? Even if you don't agree, you can ponder it for a moment and best figure out and determine how you're going to respond versus just doing it right away and kind of just, that's what I'm getting. Is this like pause, reflect, and then respond. Pause, reflect, respond. Pause, reflect, respond. Yeah. Yeah. And that's going to help with expanding not just your worldview or your way, but theirs as well. And in general, help expand and grow the earth, the energies, the universe. And that's what, creator is wanting. Your guides are wanting you to expand. They're wanting you to have it's almost like, I don't know why they keep showing me a ball and then as it grows. So maybe it's more like an egg or something, but it's like the more love, compassion, and learning and growth you do, the bigger this ball egg thing gets. And there's a reason behind that. Like at the end, yeah, maybe it is an egg. So like at the end of your growth cycle, which is not we're always growing in life. So this is more at towards the end. It's like this little ball or egg that you're putting all this learning, love, nurturing, and connection and compassion into. It's like the bigger it is when it hatches, like when you move on to the next step or stage, is better. It's good. Like it's like that is your life force or something. Is that it? Life force. Yeah. Okay. So let's clarify on this. Pause, reflect, respond. I want more on that. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So the devil. This to me is especially coming underneath the Fool and the Seven of Wands. If the pausing and the reflecting, then the responding isn't your strongest suit and you are used to compulsively speaking, um, it can create more issues for you in this particular scenario of learning and growth and connection among people. And it's almost like it's been a habit. And for most people it is a habit because we've just gotten in the habit of doing it because that's kind of what's been perpetuated. But if you can break it and you can go into that reflect or pause, reflect, respond, then you have Nine of Pentacles, right? Like complete, like there's no fire in sight. Everything is green and abundant. She's happy, she's stable, she's grounded. She's able to think and process. And it's like you won't be you won't be triggered, or you won't be enraged or popped off or obsessive about something maybe somebody says that you don't necessarily agree with. You'll be able to come into this more stable state of, okay, I hear you. I hear you. Because it's like she's got like this bird here, right? And like let's say she's selling these birds or she's selling these flowers. And somebody comes up to her saying, okay, let's go with she's selling birds, right? Like she sells birds. And this person comes up to her and says, that's wrong. You shouldn't be doing that. You're abusing them, blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, she takes very, very, very good care of them. And that's just not the case. In a time and point in her life, maybe when she first started, she would have been really hurt by that and popped off on this person about, they don't know anything and how dare you accuse me, and gets, into her, into more of a fiery state that could actually hinder her reputation, or maybe hinder her business, or even potentially do something that would hurt herself in the end. And by pausing, reflecting, and then responding, she has been able to gain the knowledge base of accepting that not everybody wants birds and not everybody has the same viewpoint. And I was just shown a debate, like standing on a debate. Um, it's okay for somebody to tell you no, and it's okay for you to say no, is what I'm hearing. So it's like the debate, or like this bird thing, each person has a different opinion. But rather than being like, I hate this person because they don't have the same opinion as me, it's like, okay, well, why? Can you tell me about that? Wow, your experience has been like, you're learning about their experience, you're learning about their perspective, and you're empathizing with them. You're still holding true to your belief system, to what you value, because your perspective was different. Your perspective was a completely different version. And so by you sitting and listening and truly diving into that with them and thinking about it and reflecting on it, and then responding and talking to them about it in a very empathetic, caring way, they're able to see you in a softer light, that is who you are, and it opens them up more to be receptive to your perspective. And then you tell your perspective, and then they might pop off because they're not used to it, and you can look at that, and then you can reflect and respond. And then because you've been able to keep your cool, and you've been relaxed, and you've been able to really see it from their perspective, they're starting to come down from that defensive mode almost, and start to see it from your perspective, or start to have more empathy. And it's almost like you both come to this conclusion of like, okay, we both disagree. I have my viewpoint, you have your viewpoint, and that's okay. We're still really good friends, or it's like that kind of energy. It's not like well, you have this viewpoint, I have this viewpoint, so we have to be enemies. No. No. Finding a friend in the differences. Yeah, it's a little bit challenging. It's a little bit worrisome, because I think that that's been the normal. The normal response is this pop off energy, both get angry, and then we can never speak again because we have such different viewpoints. Now, there are some people that will just completely, they cannot get past the difference in viewpoints or perspectives. They just can't. And they have to walk away, which I think is with this Eight of Swords with the devil. My guides are saying that it's going to be okay, because it wasn't necessary in your life. Even though it might hurt because you care for this person, it was not doing you any favors and keeping you in this anxiety-ridden state, this state of entrapment. Her eyes are blind. She could get up and walk away, but she's blinded, and thinks she's bound, but she's really not. And then she's surrounded. And so it's almost like by them popping off, and they're trying to make you see their point, and they're trying to trap you in that point and keep you lower, and that's just not okay, and that's not what you're here to do, and it's not going to work, to be honest. Yeah. Nine of Swords, Death card. Yeah, it's not going to work because you're getting out of it. Like, you've already progressed, right? Eight of Swords to the Nine of Swords. Eight of Swords to the Nine of Swords. This usually talks of sleepless nights, anxiety as well. But what's interesting is you see here, you have the owl coming in the window. And you have the Lady of Fate. Okay? The owl is a bringer of messages from the spirit world. Owls see so clearly at night and detailed. They're swift and they're silent. Something about birds for you as well. You might be connected to birds in some way. And what's interesting in this particular Nine of Swords, she looks like she's at peace in her bed. She doesn't look like she's worried. Yes, she's sitting up. It's almost more like she's meditating versus being up at night and can't sleep. It's almost like she's meditating before sleep, is what I'm picturing. So that might be a message for some of you to either start doing or you are doing it. And then that's confirmation for you. It's time to let go of those who are not serving you anymore. Those who, and I don't mean that just because you have an argument, you cast them aside. That's not the energy. That's the energy of this person. Well, you don't agree with me. So I'm going to cut you off. No, that's not this. Okay? That's not how you want to be. This is, okay, I can understand that we have disagreements. Sorry about that. Another interruption. But basically what this is about is if it's toxic and somebody is trying to force you into their opinion, if they cannot, no matter how many times you empathize with their perspective and speak to them, and they just keep shutting you down, if they cannot acknowledge your perspective in any way, and they just straight up, you're wrong, that type of energy, then this is not somebody that you need to be speaking on or speaking to do any kind of expansion or growth with. They don't have the lessons that they're bringing you is boundary setting. It is, excuse me, is not to do with necessarily soul growth. It definitely still has a lesson as far as for worldviews, like expanding your worldview, because there will be people that are just unmovable, unchanging, unmovable. And those are the people you have to decide if you want to still keep in your life or not. Because you're expanding, you're rebirthing, you're a phoenix here. Death card, Scorpio, right? You're the one that is wanting to grow and expand. Like that egg that I saw. It's that growth and learning and nurturing and empathy, and it grows and it grows and it grows and it grows until it hatches. I mean, I was showing a ball at first, but there was a at the beginning, I'm like, why am I being shown a ball? Like, what is this? Why is this ball expanding? And it's like, well, there's a reason. It's going to burst, or it's going to, hatch, or whatever. It could be an egg. I don't know if there is round eggs. I know they're all oval, most of them, but who knows? Maybe there's a round egg. But the idea is that it's growing and growing and growing, and then it bursts, right? And so it's like this learning, growing, getting through all of the anxieties or worried aspects, feelings of being trapped, and basically rebirthing yourself, bursting yourself. You might even feel that you wake up one morning completely different, right? Like there's just like this wash of energy over you, and it's like, whoa, now I'm different. Like it's that type of response to this energy. This full moon is like super impactful. You might even feel this. The full moon has energy leading up to it. So like 2 days before, day of, and 2 days after. It varies between everyone. Some people just say it's only 3 days. Some people say it's the 5 days. Some people say it's right from the last cycle, and like it builds. But take it how it resonates for you. Again, I'm being shown this 234 number. I don't know, 234 could mean something. It's in sequence, so it could be about learning. You have to learn. You're done level 1, so now you're learning 2, 3, and 4. Yeah. Interesting. Is there anything else from these cards? I'm being shown the birds again, so birds might be very important. Wings. You might be finding feathers recently. I know I have. I found like 6 feathers the other day just in my field. Um, the eagles around. We have a family of eagles, and they are pulling the young ones. Their feathers. They're small. They're being pulled out or they're falling out, and I found like 6 just in my yard. Very, very, very honored to have seen them for sure. And I definitely believe that there is messages behind when you find a feather, whether it's eagle or crow or whatever. Um, I'm actually being called to like the northern flicker as well, or a flicker. I just actually recently, just after winter, one hit a window and I set it on the window or on the ledge so that the dogs couldn't get to it, and put out some water and things, and it would just stayed there and didn't want to move. So I stayed outside with it, and then eventually it stood up, drank some water, and then flew away. But birds might be of significance to some of you. I'm also being drawn to the white rose. That's friendship, loyalty, friendship, purity. Or sorry, friendship is the yellow rose. But the white rose is innocence, purity. So with the worldview change, that could be changing your idea of it, and or it could be um, reimagined. White light, you have the white light behind the Hierophant, you have the white light behind the Seven of Wands, behind the Eight of Swords. There's this, and she's got the white veil here in the Nine of Swords. So there's this connection to the most pure of energy that you have during this full moon. And it's up to you whether or not you're going to use these energies in this capacity to expand. Yeah, Ace of Cups. This is Creator, your guides. This is them saying, okay, this is the offer that they're giving you, this expansion. And they've got the phases of the moon with the full moon at the end. This might be a full moon cycle. So from this full moon, July 2024, this full moon in Capricorn to the next full moon, which will be in Aquarius, I believe, in Leo season, August. Yeah, so this might all be a portion in this next month for you. But there is this focus on expansion, on thinking bigger, broadening your worldviews, having compassion and understanding. I'm also hearing for some of you, you might be planning a trip or traveling in this time that will broaden your worldview, because you'll be traveling to different places, and your senses will be like in enmeshed. No, that's not the word. Submerged is the word that I'm getting. Um, Submerged, or you're going to be completely surrounded by different perspectives, right? Different cultures, different foods, musics, talking to new people that come from a different background or perspective, and you're learning different things. You're learning new aspects and new perspectives, and that is expanding your worldview, because you're getting involved in this travel of and seeing other cultures and places. That's for some of you, not all of you. For others of you, it is about just you're expanding your mind and your worldview in your mind, and thinking bigger, expanding through, yeah. And for some of you, this is a spiritual expansion. Most of you, this is soul expansion. Um, it's just there will be different ways of how that's going about, whether this is through education, through talking with coworkers, through traveling and talking with other people and witnessing different cultures. It's going to look different for all of you, but the key here is soul expansion, which will lead to unbelievable abundance. Abundance in soul, abundance in body, abundance in mind, emotions, everything. It's a balanced abundance. Again, I'm seeing that like feast table that's covered in food. Some of you might like grapes because I keep seeing grapes. Maybe some of you are traveling somewhere that has lots of grapes. Um, yeah. All right. I'm going to leave it there for the full moon reading in July. If you liked it, please like the video and comment and subscribe. Let me know how it resonates. I love to hear everyone's stories, because I would love to build a wonderful, supportive community. And I absolutely love hearing other people's perspectives and the different things that make them who they are. And with all that, all my love, all the best. Bye.